Well, hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Griffin coming at you from YouTube again, and this time I've got a brand new video for you on how to season a pipe bag. So seasoning needs to occur within all skin bags, and these can be made from cowhide, elk hide, sheepskin, and goat skin. And you will need to season your bag for various reasons, but the most important of these is the matter of airtightness. Your bag needs to be airtight for around 30 seconds or so with some pressure. The first thing you'll need to do is make sure that your stalks aren't actively turning within the leather. Make sure that they're not moving at all with any kind of pressure. And then you need to make sure that you have a good brand of seasoning on you. This is my own brand, the Pube Armor Seasoning. There are various other kinds out there, and you just want to make sure that you follow the directions so as to avoid any unforeseen circumstances. Here are the supplies that you'll need, and on the subject of corks, you want to make sure that you're using either rubber stoppers, or you can use wine corks if you really want to. You just need to make sure that they're not actively leaking air, because sometimes they have holes in them. So here I am actually just putting the corks into the bag and making sure that they're not turning within the leather. I'm going to blow it up here and show you that the bag is actively losing air. And here I go blowing it all the way up, trying to make sure that I get it as tight as possible. And applying a slight amount of pressure there, and you can see that the bag actively goes down there right before your eyes, which is far too fast. This is a brand new bag, it's never been seasoned before, so we're going to have to make sure that we give it a thorough treatment. Normal airtight bag should stay airtight for around 30 seconds or so, with a slight amount of pressure. This seasoning is stuff that you have to microwave to get it to the proper viscosity, so once you've done that, you want to start by pouring a very little amount into the bag. You can always add more. And then you can either go through the blowpipe stock or the chanter stock there, but I prefer to go through the blowpipe stock just because it's the only stock that's not actively related to playing. Very small amount here going into the bag. I'm probably only going to do 4 tablespoons or so, something like that. We're just eyeballing this here. It's just, you know, in parts. Some seasoning bottles recommend pouring a quarter of the bottle in there, which I think is a bit too much even for a new bag. Now you have to be a really good masseuse, and you need to massage all of that seasoning into every corner of the bag, and this should take some time. The most important thing is to make sure that you get even coverage, carefully massaging it into every single corner. Make sure to doubly get the space in between the stalks on the drones and up into that vital neck area of the bag, all the way to the back of the bag, along the belly, along the spine, and up through the neck. The old school method here is to actually turn the bag inside out. This is goat skin, and it's quite a thick hide, but you can still do this by pulling the sides apart and pushing the back inwards. That's just another added measure to get you a thorough coating on the inside. Kind of massage it around there with your hands. Again, the neck is really important. So once you felt that you've done that, you can try blowing it up. You want to probably let it sit after a little while, but you can try blowing it up there, and already you can see that this is far airtighter than it was before. Crucial point here is that you actually want to rock the bag back and forth, and that gets the seasoning into all of the pores, and especially along the seam of the bag, along the belly of the bag. There I am applying a pressure again, and it's actually staying much more airtight than it was before. I'll probably let it sit for 10 minutes or so. Once you've done that, then you want to let the bag drain of all the excess seasoning. And keep in mind that was a very small amount there, but it should give you a nice even coverage. Okay, time for cleanup. So, getting the seasoning out of the stalks. We want to make sure that nothing has pooled or congealed at the bottom of the stalks, so it's important to use a brush and a paper towel to go through those areas and get them nice and clean afterwards. You may find you do this, especially in the chanter stock, for a little while after you season the bag. That's totally normal, especially on your first one. When the bag is hanging, the stalks can actually accumulate some of the seasoning inside. They can actually store that with the cork still in there. I'm going to keep the corks in until this process so that none of the seasoning is running out all over the place. Once you feel that you've got them pretty well cleaned, you can actually align the stalks there within the bag and use them like a spyglass and kind of make sure there's no obstructions in there. You can go all the way down to the blowpipe on that one. Make sure that the air passages is clear. Give it one more final check. The longer you let it sit, the longer time you'll have to see what it will wind up doing. If you need to add more, or if you need to let it drain for longer, this will be pretty apparent here. So now that you've seasoned your bag, every time you take your pipes out, that's just a quick little thing that you can kind of massage all the various areas and make sure that they're good to go. So hopefully after watching this video and checking your bag for that glazed donut consistency on the inside, you can put your time and your energy towards more important matters like adjusting your reeds and practicing your playing. As always, I hope that you've enjoyed this and that you've gotten something out of it. And until next time, hope you enjoy your piping, and thanks very much for watching.